Hi guys, just a quick one to say thanks to everyone who commented on my last video on about what they want this recipe to be. It's great for Christmas parties or dinner parties, and it's a recipe for stuffed Yorkshire puddings with beef and horseradish sauce. And you'll need these ingredients. Firstly, we need to preheat the oven. Yorkshire puddings need a high heat, so put it on about 230 degrees. We're going to be using a cake tin to make the Yorkshire puddings because it will make them the perfect finger food size. And you don't need any more than a teaspoon worth of oil for each Yorkshire pudding. And when you've filled all the cases, stick the tray in the oven to heat up. Whilst we're waiting for the oil to heat up, we're going to make the batter. It's really easy to do, you just need to put your egg, flour and milk all into a mixing bowl and whisk it all up. If you've got an electric mixer, great. If not, just use a normal fork or whisk and just make sure everything's combined. Once the batter's mixed, put it into a jug so it's ready to pour. Hopefully by now the oil should be bubbling, which means it's ready to pour the batter in. Be really careful because it's going to be piping hot, and do it so you've got just about enough batter to fill each of the holes on the cake tin. And then just put the cake tin back into the oven and set the timer for about 20 minutes. As tempting as it is, try not to open the door as well because it will affect how well the Yorkshire puddings are going to rise. Whilst they're in the oven, we're going to prepare the steak, so start off by grinding some peppercorns. You then need to lay the steak out and rub some salt and the grinded peppercorns onto each side of the beef. And just a tip for you, the horseradish sauce does actually have quite a lot of flavour, so you don't need to use that much salt. We're now going to cook the steak, so heat some oil up in a pan over a relatively high heat. And when the oil's hot enough, throw the steak into the pan. Now my advice would be to cook the steak to relatively well done, and especially if you're going to be cooking these for other people as well. Make sure you flip it as well so it's cooked evenly on either side. Whilst the steak is simmering away, we're now going to make the horseradish sauce, which is again really easy to make. Simply put the 2 tablespoons of horseradish and creme fraiche into a bowl with a handful of parsley and pepper, and then thoroughly mix it all together. And at this point your steak should be pretty much done, and you might just want to cut into it and make sure it's cooked to your liking as well. And all you need to do is lay the steak out and cut it into relatively thin strips. They need to be small enough so you can stuff them into the Yorkshire puddings. When the Yorkshire puddings look golden crispy, take them out and then we'll start sticking everything into them. Now for each Yorkshire pudding, all you've got to do is squish in a bit of beef and then top it off with the horseradish sauce, and then just garnish it with a little bit of parsley. And it really is as simple as that. And if you have any Yorkshire puddings left over, simply stick them in the freezer and then just reheat them for about 5 minutes when you come around to eating them again.